Hello Virgo friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Virgo September 2024 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. This is a big time for Virgos. I can't underestimate or overestimate how important this time is. It's really powerfully profound. Not only do we have so many transits, including your new moon, going through Virgo, this is always a big time. This is birthday time. This is already huge. But if that weren't enough, we also have the beginning of a very long cycle with eclipses in the Pisces-Virgo axis that start now and go into 2027. So not only do we have things that will affect you over the next few weeks, few months, we are also at the precipice of this pattern, new themes, new experiences, a whole new way of being that are activating things that are going to be in effect for a very long time to come. This is for you if Virgo is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Virgo placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. If you're a very late degree Virgo friend, so birthdays like September 15th through the rest of the sign, or Virgo degrees 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Libra report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. So my intention is to equip you not only with the things to know about this month, but the magnitude of other transits, especially the eclipse cycle, but other transits as well, that will echo out beyond this time, even though they have their origins here. Okay, so I'm going to layer everything in. I'm going to go in order of the most fast-moving, the shortest lasting cycles at play so that we can build up to the big dogs. Those of you in the podcast view, if you just check out the thumbnail, if you want to look at the actual chart, I'm going over the chart and working on it in the YouTube version. If you are a subscriber and you're not getting my notifications, make sure you click the bell and enable notifications. I've had some posts saying, hey, Annie, I didn't know your stuff was up. I'm not getting notified. So like, subscribe, click the bell, and enable notifications. And all of these things should tell YouTube, I like this stuff, I want more. Okay, so let's go in order of this very layered fabric that I'm going to weave for you of these storylines. The first most notable thing, of course, is we've got all of this energy in Virgo. Mercury is about to be there. Vesta, the sun, big time, right? Star goddess Estrella. On September 2nd, we also have the 11-degree new moon in Virgo. I want to stop for a moment here just to touch on specifically this new moon, because we only usually get one new moon in our sign, in a whole year or moon cycle. So it's really important to remember the importance that, or the magnitude of this. Wishes, intentions at new moon time, especially on Virgo topics, and we're going to dive deeper into what those Virgo topics are, but you can really maximize this time. So if it's also your birthday around this time, you have new moon wishes, you have birthday wishes. These are portals of possibilities, portals of opportunity where the universe is more receptive to your wishes and your intentions at this time. Okay, so just marking that down. Also, when you make a wish, make an intention, write it down, feel it as if it's come true, whether it's a birthday wish or a new moon wish or what have you. This tells your subconscious mind. It activates this thing called the reticular activating system, which is your filter. And the filter filters out all the stuff that it thinks you don't need. That's why when you go to buy a car, all of a sudden you notice there are like 12,000 car dealerships like in your neighborhood, which you didn't notice before because your reticular activating system was filtering those things out. But as soon as you said, hey, I want to buy a car, you start noticing them. So this is usable for everything in our lives, for manifestation and for helping us to stay on the best path, because there are things in your periphery, in the lesser seen realms, in the very obvious realms, that could be supporting you with what your intention is if only you claim that intention, that wish. Okay? So a very powerful time. In general, we know Virgo time is fantastic for discipline and organization and breathing life into new routines, settling down from this fire frenzy of Leo. For some of you, summer break. For you, down under, winter break, perhaps. But whatever it is, this is a reining in of that kind of all over the placeness, getting back to business, getting back to basics, getting a new structure. It will probably feel really good to get back into routine and hopefully have some new inspiration for your daily experience and your daily surroundings. This is a regenerative rebirth time when this first house is aspected, as it is with all of these Virgo placements. The first house is the Aries house. It's the baby of the zodiac. So there's a freshness, a newness, a new cycle, a rebirth occurring. And this is a time when, having moved through the energy of the 12th house, which those of you who are later in the Virgo spectrum, you may still be dealing with this a bit in the first weeks of the month. Kind of this forcing you to look at your stuff, this, reflecting of your inner issues and fears and anxieties projected out into your experiences. All of this is purposeful because it's helpful to know what we don't want when we're trying to affirm in what we do want. Okay, so this is a beautiful cycle, even though it can be a bit of a nuisance. This is set in this way purposely so that you can confront the things that are still a problem. You can ask for the issues to be revealed and resolved. You can use the power of your new moon wishes, of your birthday wishes, and even your intentions that you make when the sun moves over your other Virgo placement besides your sun. All of you have access to this, to realign with this fresh new start. The energy of the first house, when it's being amplified like this, can make you more magnetic, more charming, more receptive to your wishes. If you have to ask for something or try to manifest something or get something from someone that you really need, this could be a time where they actually hear you more than usual. So that's very exciting. This is a time where it's a focus on your physical body, and where you can reacquaint yourself with your current body needs and get a good system together for your health, for your vibrance, for your wellness, for your stress management. It's a great time to do diagnostic tests, especially between September 12th and October 7th. These are very important dates. Write those down. Mark them in your calendar, because not only is it good for those things, all these Virgo things that I'm mentioning, so as I'm weaving this picture, you see what the things are to wish for too, right? Freshness in your routine, efficiency in your routine, medical wellness, things, stress management, animals, pets are in Virgo. So you can put that energy into your new moon wishes and your birthday wishes to be, further aligned with the Virgo spectrum. But in any case, September 12th through October 7th is the last stretch of time that we have free of personal planet retrogrades until well into 2025. So you want to make the most of this. Big decisions, big choices, commitments, contracts, big purchases, big sales, launches, anything basically that you want. We'll make our beach here, and you're on the beach. Okay, so if you're trying to get things out on the tides that are going out now, far and wide, the message in the bottle, the boat to escape from the island, whatever it is, the tides are actively going out between September 12th and October 7th, and that will not be happening for long, because once they shift around October 7th, every day we get deeper into Mars shadow retrograde, long transit during the whole Mars story, which is excessively long, well into 2025. We're also going to have more Mercury retrograde. We're going to have a Venus retrograde, so these are not things to fear. Retrogrades are one of my areas of expertise, and I will be guiding you through as we have them. But for now, our work is to know that for this month, especially those dates, we're not in the retrograde. And this is a time when everything is going outward. So you want to push everything out, launches, important things as much as possible, because when it turns into October 7th time, the tides will reverse and they'll start coming in. So everything you throw out there into the world, into the tides, will come back to you. And there are many things that's good for, but not those big things that we talked about. Also, you'll just have more general clarity during these times to make decisions, to plan for the future, to kind of get a picture of where you're going and where you want to go. Happy birthday to those of you who are going to have your birthdays now, and happy birthday to those of you who had your birthdays in August as well. Okay, in our building process, let's go to the transit that is of the next length of significance. Mars usually blows through a sign, a house, in a couple of months, but since it's going to be going into retrograde, it's going to spend a lot of time in this Cancer into this Leo zone here. We'll talk more about that for a long time as we have that happening, but it's mentionable now because Mars is going into Cancer this month, and it will be there or close to there for a very long time. So the theme of focus on home and family and real estate and housing are going to be front and center for a very long period of time. And, if you need some work done on your house or repairs, these dates, again, September 12th through October 7th, might be your best bet, because many people will get very lazy and unambitious when Mars goes into retrograde. And that can be fine. I like Mars retrograde. It gives me a break from myself. I have an Aries rising and I'm ruled by Mars, so I'm kind of a zealot. If you're a zealot too, you might come to enjoy Mars retrograde when you just kind of get a break from being on fire all the time. But a thing to know is that if you need help from other people, their ambitions may wane. So their likelihood of showing up or things taking longer are going to increase as we get into that Mars retrograde. So, trying to activate this time to get people off their butts to do the things they're supposed to do that you need help with, you'll probably get more out of the people that really need to do stuff for you at this time than you will as it gets deeper into that time retrograde. Specifically for Virgo, Mars will bring that border collie obsessive focus not only to home, family, and real estate for an extended period of time, but also to Aquarius. Social connections, networks, groups, team efforts, community projects, internet-based projects, you feeling like you're on the same page with a group of people that speak your language, people that share a common vision with you. There may be a lot of work to do there and things coming up. Friendships, social circles, social media, all of that. Okay, so you'll see all of that coming up. And if you have to do something important there, again, these dates, are really critical for activating something that you want to be longer term and have a good footing. From May 2024 to June 2025, you will have Jupiter continuing its movement through your 10th house, expanding your work and office and business possibilities, expanding your recognition and your fame, expanding your capacity to make money through various different methods, because Jupiter gets its fingers in a lot of pudding pies, being the ruler of Sagittarius. Gemini is a sign that is very similar to Sagittarius. It's its opposing axis. And so, in this combination, you might find that you're getting feelers in a lot of different spaces, and your best success for work might come now from doing multiple things. So if you're having trouble finding a job, you may find that having multiple jobs might be the answer for you at this time, and you may have really good luck doing that. Also, father figures or any parent figures, really, parenting, authority figures, establishing your authority, establishing your notoriety, all of those are things that are in process this month, September, and into June of next year. Okay, so now let's get into the eclipse cycle. Now, I am going to give you a lot of information about the eclipses, but if you want to understand more about how these eclipses may affect you, how the Aries Libra eclipse cycle that's still in process with that Libra eclipse we're having October 2nd, solar eclipse at 10 degrees will affect you, how this one, the September 17th lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Pisces in your opposing sign, activating the Virgo Pisces axis from not only now, but through 2027. If you want to understand these themes and what may manifest for you, definitely go to AnnieHelpsYou.com. The link is below the video or podcast. I'll also give it to you again at the end, or you can just type it in. Put your name and email address there. Get my welcome letter, and in the welcome letter, there will be a link to my eclipse resource page where I have specific for your sign and the general transits, more videos that you can watch to get really into this. And this is really important for you to understand what's going on here, because these are life-changing things. You can think back to 2015 through the first half of 2017. You can think back to 2006 through the first half of 2008 and think about what life-changing things occurred then. First big important thing to know about that is if something terrible happened in those times, it doesn't mean that will happen again. There are unique other things happening in these time frames that build together to make a picture of what goes on, but you can kind of see some themes, and a lot of those themes are going to have to do with me versus we, because Pisces Virgo axis will be in the Aries Libra houses. Of course, that's double time because we still have the Aries Libra eclipse cycle, which is going on, which is actually happening in your money versus other people's money. So you've got me, we, my money, our money storyline going on. We'll talk more about the October eclipse in October, but we are in the influence of things happening now. So big money news could be happening, income news, job news, all of that. And there's a huge focus, double, triple time on the me-we sector. So this particular eclipse is not in Virgo, the first house. It is in Pisces in the 7th house, but anything that happens in the 7th house from an eclipse perspective is activating this axis. So me versus we is going to come up either way. So this can be a focus on others. You know, an eclipse in your opposing sign can often highlight issues that are related to your relationships and partnerships. It can include romantic relationships, friendships, business partnerships, you know, any significant one-on-one connections, and your relationship to relationship. It can have to do with the topics of balance and compromise. You may be called to find balance and compromise in your relationships, or you may quit being done. You may be getting sick of being the one who is doing that and stop doing that. You know, if you've been putting too much in, that may be the decision that you make as well. There are issues and topics that can require negotiation, involving fairness, even legal things, you know, things like that. There's a lot of energy through this cycle of reflection and projection. So you can see yourself more clearly in relation to other people. Things that you don't like in other people may give you hints at deep unconscious blocks or beliefs within yourself. Like if you're judging someone very harshly, there may be a belief or a fear around that that has to be rectified in order for you to find your resolution. And really what happens at eclipse time is karmic, you know, shifts. And that's the theme of this month for Virgo, is karmic crossroads, because you are so in the hot seat in this eclipse cycle, and because you have all of this Virgo energy. And there are so many other reasons why I'm titling it that, but eclipses do put us at a karmic crossroads. And if we have close tie-ins to our sign, you know, it's especially happening. So you're at a multiple year series of crossroads that is happening now. You might have started to get hints of it in July, getting stronger in August. Now in September, bam, it's here. This can mark major life changes, endings and beginnings. You know, eclipses are often associated with significant endings and significant new beginnings. An eclipse in your opposing sign can signal the end of a phase in a key relationship. You know, so a chapter could close or a relationship could end. This could mark an amazing time of very deep and profound, effective, productive inner work. So it's really conducive to deep inner work, and you might be prompted to really finally address issues that have been going on for your whole life. If you're irritated at your spouse, feel back to how the similarities between how the situation makes you feel now to how you felt with your parents or caretakers, or, you know, in some other situation in your childhood. This eclipse can act as a catalyst for personal transformation. This is going to have a lot of this self versus others. And as I said, this is double time because the houses of Aries, Libra are being aspected for the Pisces, Virgo eclipses for Virgo, but we also still have the Aries, Libra eclipse cycle that started in 2023 and is going through 2025. So all of these things can have to do with balancing independence, interdependence, codependence, all of these topics. So, you know, just new levels of, basically you're able to raise your relationship to new octaves at this time. You know, it's a whole new energetic system that's being downloaded for how energy moves through you with your physical health, with your relationship with yourself, and how it moves and reflects within relationships. One of the ways we can navigate through eclipse time and these karmic crossroads is to stay open to change. It's unavoidable in many cases, and the closer you are to 25 degrees, the more you might notice this. So the eclipse is at 25 degrees. So those of you between 20 degrees and the rest of the sign, so that corresponds with like September 10th through the rest of the sign, and the closer to around September 15th, 16th, you know, the more it may be noticeable. This stuff is going to be going on whether it's noticeable or whether you have some dramatic event or not. But sometimes the more closely it hits your degree, your Virgo degree in opposition here with the Pisces aspect, you know, the more obvious, the more the unconscious factors come into the conscious factors. So, you know, embracing the change as it is unavoidable, focusing on self-improvement, really asking the questions, what am I supposed to be learning here? And be open to the answers that may come. There's also a degree of patience that has to happen here. Remember, this is the beginning of a long cycle through 2027 of storylines that are going to be coming back up. They're going to get hot during eclipse season and then settle back down for a few months and then come up again in eclipse season and then settle back down. Every 6 months we'll have this, you know, this bubbling up and then settling down going on. So this is what you're embarking on here is a long-term journey, and even the shorter-term topics that are coming up, the information that may come to you that is what I would call eclipse news may come and then be re-questioned by the retrograde. You may get information and not know what it means or not know what you're going to do with it. So this is a journey. This is maybe some event that seems like the end or the beginning, but this is a journey, and everything you think you know now, you're going to know so much more, and sometimes daily. So just kind of be open and aware that that process is occurring. I've given you a lot of dates here, or at least a few key dates here. And okay, so I said the eclipse is on the 17th, officially. If you want more dates, that's another thing to go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in there. In the archive link in the welcome letter, you can search for September 2024 astrology and get my sweet and salty dates right up. We do have a significant amount of salty aspects this month also. Nothing to fear, again, just a lot of road bumps. This definitely is one of the most intense months of the year, especially for Virgos. Okay, so remember to subscribe, like, click the bell, and enable notifications to make sure that my reports get delivered right to where you can get them as soon as possible. If you want them even earlier, go to anniehelpsyou.com. Another perk you get when you join my free VIP community is you get access to my horoscope, my public horoscopes early. Okay, so just put your name and email address in here. Click receive. Look for my welcome letter in the inbox. Once you get it, you'll get the Eclipse resource page link. You'll get the health tips link. You'll get my 28-day virtual coaching program. You can search for the September 2024 in the archive link to get the sweet and salty aspect dates. You can get my Train Your Brain audio, all of these goodies. And you will get mini astrology lessons as well. Now, if you want a more organized, structured learning of astrology, I am your girl. I've been an astrology teacher for decades. I've brought people, many, many people, to being able to earn money from their love of astrology. So if you scroll down and you click on Up Level, then you can see my courses, my Astrology Basics and Beyond course, or my Become a Professional Astrologer Mastery Certification course. And if you're listening to this anytime through the end of August, you will get $1,100 worth of free courses when you enroll in this course now. So you can see that there, or you can go to beastropro.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.